And then you broke the internet.
Yeah, and then I did a Kim Kardashian. Thank God it wasn't with my arse.
Isn't that amazing how your music can do that or heal people? Or
It's the most amazing thing ever.
The wait is finally over. I'm Danielle Graham, and this is eTalk Presents Adele live in London. In one of her first interviews in years, we talk about music, motherhood, and cell phones, but not the one you think.
right now, basically, my entire Instagram feed is memes of Hello and Drake's Hotline Bling.
I know. I really want us to do an official remix. I love Drake. I love Drake so much. I even got the coat that's in the video. I got delivered the other day.
Really?
I ordered
Which
it.
one? The
red
puffy?
one? Yeah, the
Really?
red one. I feel like I should go skiing or something. Like when I'm wearing, well, that brand is like everyone wears it for skiing.
Come see us
I know.
in
So I
Canada.
walk around my house doing the Hotline Bling.
Do you
dance.
dance?
Yeah. Well, I had a drink like about 3 weeks ago. My best friend. In fact, it was to celebrate Hello. And I had a glass of wine and I was off my face because I don't really drink anymore. And they've got a video of me dancing to it. Like it's on a coffee table as well.
It is so great to see you again. You've released the first single, now the album. How are you feeling? Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it, oh my gosh, finally?
Mainly, oh my gosh, finally,
Yeah.
and then a bit of excitement. And then especially this week, I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed with nerves and just a bit frightened by it all. But like in a good way, just that I'm really eager for people to enjoy it and be glad that I'm coming back, you know, like, because if I did get the vibe that people like now, I'd be like, right, see you later, bye, I'll do another one in like 5 years, bye.
No, people are excited you're back,
Yeah, I
as you
know,
can
that's so
tell.
nice. And I honestly didn't think that people would be this excited. So I thought maybe like a third of this reaction, and that was like, whoa, for me, like, you know, a third of the reaction. So for it to be this big has like blown my mind.
Well, look at the success of Hello.
I know.
Right away.
Also, that's like the longest song ever to be played on radio. Like, I thought they were going to cut it down to like 3 minutes, and it's still at like 5 minutes. It's amazing.
Where were you the day this song was released?
I was here. Yeah, I was at home, and I woke up at 3 a.m. to get my hair and makeup done. And I was just sitting there really nervous. And then at like 8 o'clock, I knew that my first play was going to be done here. And then
you broke the internet.
And then I did a Kim Kardashian.
You really did?
Yeah.
When did you know?
Thank God it wasn't with my arse. It would have actually broken the internet if it was my bum.
When did you know, or who told you, hey, listen, people are really into
I can't remember because I did my interviews and then the reaction was great and it was like #1 on iTunes. And my manager told me that and I was like, okay, this is great. And then I went home and did mummy duties and like had food thrown at me. So I didn't find out until like the Sunday just how big it was being. And one of my best friends who's like totally on like lives online, he was like, you've broken a Vivo record. And I was like, great. I didn't really know what it was. Like, I mean, I knew a Vivo, but I didn't know what the record was and stuff like that. And I love Taylor Swift, and when I found out that, I was like, it's pretty epic.
That is
like,
pretty epic.
You know, not beating her, but just being on the same level as her was fantastic.
Compared to 19 and 21, how difficult or easy was 25 to make for you?
Really hard.
Yeah.
It's the hardest record I've made.
Yeah?
The process was hard. The making it was hard as well. Like, I never had anything to balance before. It was just only me before that mattered. And then obviously I became a mum, and all of my attention is on my kid and stuff like that. So just that balance of not feeling guilty while I'm like in the studio or in the booth or anything like that, and trying to find time at home to like listen to music properly, not just have it on in the background, but listen to it and not do anything and be quiet and just listen. That's pretty hard to do these days because, you know, if he's at home, I want to be with him, and you know, and if he's out, I feel terrible that I've like been like, go to the park so that I can sit and listen to music. It all feels a bit unfair, really, but there's bigger problems in the world, so I just soldiered through it. And but it was hard, and it was hard to decide how much I wanted to give away this time, because I gave a lot away last time. But then I realised that most of the things I gave away last time was actually in my interviews and in my chat. I feel like this album is as exposing, if you want, as my last record. I'm just not going to tell everyone exactly what the songs are about, but also I want people to interpret the songs in their own way. Last time I was just like, Gobby 21-year-old, this song's about this and that's all it's about. Can't be about anything else. Whereas now it's I want people to interpret however they want.
Isn't that amazing how your music can do that, or heal people, or uplift them? Like,
it's the most amazing thing ever.
It has to be. It has to be. Our first interview with you was in 2008 in Toronto, and you had this to say about the record.
A soul singer singing pop tunes about a horrible boyfriend.
That was 19. What's 25 about?
25 is about how I make myself feel as opposed to how a horrible boyfriend makes me feel. It's all about that. And just like evolving and growing up. And I feel like I would have been at this point in my life had I not had a kid. But I feel like I read deep into everything now that I'm a parent. I don't know why, but I just do. Maybe I have a lot more time on my hands. Like, I don't get to go out as much as I used to and stuff like that. So maybe just sitting at home, like, on your own. Like.
Do you miss it? Do you miss out?
No, not really. I like hot bath and go to bed. Like, I'm in bed by about 9 p.m. most nights. So yeah, it's just that this record is all about myself, and it's about yearning for myself and for my friends and for my childhood and stuff like that. And just, it's a bit frightening. I'm only going to ever be an adult now. I'm not going to be a kid again. I'm only going to get older, which is fine, and that's part of life. But I don't feel like you really realise it, or certainly me and my friends, we haven't realised it until it's happened. And we're like, oh, is this it?
Because in my brain, I feel perpetually maybe 22.
I know.
And then all of a sudden you're not.
I know.
And that's kind of
also,
behind.
I mean, I don't look that different. I think I prefer how I look now compared to how I looked on my first and second albums. And this story certainly doesn't apply to me yet. Although I do have like some crow marks and stuff like that around my eyes. But when my grandmother was dying, my great-grandmother, she wasn't like, well, she was. I was just like, how does it feel like when you're like this old? Like, and she knew she was dying and stuff like that. And she was like, I get the shock of my life when I look in the mirror because I still feel 18. And that's like anyone I've spoken to who's like older than like 18 feels the same. Yeah. Like, and it's just like we all feel like that. Like, do you know what I mean? And that was something that, you know, once, kind of thank God I had a meltdown about it myself, because it's something that all of us feel. And the worst thing would have been if I was writing a record about something that no one could relate to.
Let me photograph you in this light in case it is the last time.
I read that Remedy is about your son, and Sweet Devotion. Is that true?
Yeah, Sweet Devotion and Remedy are both bands, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that his voice we hear?
Yeah.
It is.
It is, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's special. Why was that important for you to include?
Just because it makes me, we had it in at the beginning just for me on the recording to get me in the mood of singing about it, because the minute I hear it, I'm like, my face lights up. And then I just liked it. I wanted to keep it in. Obviously, it's very unlike me because I'm very private and stuff like that. But it suited it, and it's a hard thing to do because he finds everything really exciting at the moment that's going on, especially because we lived the most normal life up until now. Yeah. And, you know, from when I had him up until now, I mean. And, but, you know, like the hair and makeup, the nails, the clothes, the sound checks, the cameras, he loves all of it. So it's like, he loves that his voice is on one of my songs. He loves it. So it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't, because I'm not really like, you know, I try to keep my privacy. This might be inviting. And he's like, please, you know. So it's sort of, it's kind of a tough one to get.
Yeah. When 21 came out, fans and media, they wanted all Adele all the time. I heard your grandmother was ambushed at a bus stop.
Yeah.
How did that experience shape you, and is it going to help you, do you think, over the next few months, knowing how to navigate it this time?
I don't think so. So far, they seem to be being pretty respectful.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which I really, really appreciate and really respect as well. And last time it made it quite difficult because I was affecting people who I love. I was affecting their lives, and it has nothing to do with them because this was my dream and this is my thing. So I felt really bad, and then sometimes how I would deal with all of that, I would like hurt people's feelings and stuff like that, you know. And so that changed me. That's probably what changed me the most, was the intrusion in my life. I get annoyed, but I'm also like, well, you know, it kind of comes with the territory. But when you start ambushing my grandmother and throwing stones at her window at 3 in the morning to get a reaction, so she says something about me just to make you go away, is like disgusting. Yeah. Like, and that's what really like made me like back off. It was the best experience of my life outside of becoming a mum. It actually was.
Oh my God. I love it.
some greased-up man to feed me.
Rumor has it he's the one I'm leaving you for.
Chart-topping, award-winning, record-breaking. So far, there's not much Adele can't do. Add Bruno Mars into the mix, and it's all of that times 2.
Bruno Mars, what does his music mean to you?
His music, I mean, I love his music. I feel like every album he just gets better and better and better, but it's his voice mainly. Like, I've had the experience and the absolute blessing of being closer than this to him when he's singing full throttle in my face, and it was the best experience of my life outside of becoming a mum. It actually was. He can sing.
Oh,
it's like ridiculous. Like, and then he'd be like, what about if we go up here? You know, and we were like writing the song. We were kind of like, it wasn't difficult writing the song at all. We just had so many ideas and coming from so many angles that we were just like, we'd interrupt each other and be like, what about if we do this, what about if we do that, what about, and he hated one of my lines, and I was like, whatever. My favourite line in Uptown Funk was, I'm so hot I make a dragon want to retire. He didn't even like that line in the song, so I was like, that's my favourite line. I was like, so this might end up being your favourite line, and he said in my Rolling Stone interview that it was his favourite line. So thank God I like bullied him into making me have that line. But he'd be like, let's go up here with the song. And I'd be like, I can't sing up there. Like, but he could. And normally when I work with a guy, they're singing like 2 octaves lower than me. I'd be like, try and sing up there. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, and stuff like that. And I couldn't even reach the notes he was reaching. He's one of the greatest singers that I've ever met. And he was so much fun.
I believe it.
I've never had that much fun with anyone. I mean, he was great. He smokes like an old woman.
Does he?
He actually does.
With that
It's amazing.
voice?
I know. The best voices, they always smoke.
I know.
I've given up smoking. I'm convinced that's why my voice feels weaker. I don't even know what my voice is going to do anymore. I can't feel my throat anymore.
Do you miss it?
Oh my God, I miss it.
Yeah.
But it's not that great, is it? Until you've got kids. And also, you realise how much you must stink. Because now when
It's
someone
so
walks in,
offensive.
my makeup artist might walk in the room and he'll stink, like, after having a fag. Like, and I never noticed it before.
That's right.
And my fingers ain't orange no
That's
more.
right.
And I can
Youthful,
taste.
so beautiful,
Yeah.
fresh.
Mhm.
There you go.
And yet she said, I've got this massive spot on my face.
Like, didn't notice it? Thought it was a mole.
Molly, Molly, Molly.
When you and Bruno came together, was there any idea of like, okay, I can't say what I really feel because we're both these musical geniuses and I don't want to offend him. Can I say, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't like that. Was there any of
I'm
this?
pretty good at that, though,
You are
in
pretty good at
general.
that,
Like,
yeah.
and I've always been like that. Even when I was like 19, like making my first album. As big of a fan as I am, by the time we worked together, I wasn't starstruck, and I wanted to work. So I didn't want to waste time. Like, oh yeah, let's give it a go, like, and not really like it, you know. And we wanted to do something fun, and then we were like, let's just do a ballad. Let's just do a ballad, because then we can just like, have a sing off. It'd be great.
Do celebrities ever freak out meeting you? They must. Or you must see it.
I mean, I see them at like award shows and stuff like that. So we're all pretty professional at those things.
Are you?
You know, well, I am anyway. I mean, I've lost my cool over quite a few people, but
Who?
Stevie Nicks, like, that was just
Yeah.
embarrassing, like how I reacted. It was just, I mean,
Was there crying?
like beyond, like floods, like a river, like, you know. And I think I forced her to sort of go into sort of like, oh, don't worry about it, I know. But in a great way for her, but just I think I made her uncomfortable that she couldn't be herself or something, but she was amazing. Like, I just love her, like, I absolutely love her. But yeah, I mean, you know, I've met a few people, you know, Bette Midler.
Oh,
Yeah, she's like my idol.
wow.
Yeah, she's I have to swear then. But
Go for it. It's Canada. We're very
amazing.
She's amazing.
It's hard. I feel guilty all the time.
When was the last time you cried?
Like yesterday.
Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead.
More acting in your future, perhaps? Another
Only
Oscar
for
to
him.
keep? Only for him.
Only for him.
The first single off 25 said hello to over 50 million views in just 48 hours. And behind the lens of this blockbuster, Canada's own Xavier Dolan.
Hello, it's me.
Another artist you collaborated with, Xavier, on Hello. What a spectacular
I know.
video. Why Xavier? Why did you want to work with him?
I find it really interesting. When I met him, he was in Paris and then he came to London to meet up with me, and we just got on really, really well. And I played him the song and I cried, he cried. And then it was a bit formal, like my manager was there and someone from my label, and then I told him to go away and we hung out on our own. And then we hung out a bit the next day, and I just really liked him as well, you know, and his ideas. he just knew. And when I told him what the song was about, he was like involved in doing something about that kind of story anyway. And it ended up being perfect timing, because had it been any later, he'd be doing one of his new movies. So actually perfect timing, so it was meant to be. And it was intense. He's intense, but in a great way. I just kind of put it into his hands in the end. Because he stood up to me like how I would stand up to someone like Bruno. He was like, no, we're not doing that. And then I saw that coat, and I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's going to make me look massive. It's going to make me look even bigger than I am. I was like, I don't want to wear it. It looks cheap. And he'd be like, you're like undermining all the work that I put in for the last 3 weeks. And I'd be like, okay, let's wear it. And it looked great. He was right. He was great. Yeah. He was right. Everything that I was like, no, he was like, yes, we're doing that. And it ended up being. And I did say that to him. I was like, every idea I didn't like, I was like, it worked. Yeah. You know, so yeah, it was good.
More acting in your future, perhaps? Another
only
Oscar to keep? Only for him?
Only for him. I was saying, he makes me want to act.
Wow.
Only for him.
So if Steven Spielberg phoned...
I don't know if anyone can. I mean, he's very involved, Xavier. Like, he was like on the floor with, like, in that crying scene, he was on the floor with me, like totally getting into the same mood as me. Like, I don't know if anyone else could even bring out the confidence in me to attempt to act apart from him. So I'm not a natural, for sure.
I think you were. And also the world's prettiest crier. Thanks. Is that always how you look when you cry? No. Because it's gorgeous.
Oh, really? There's one bit where I go like that, and that's when it got too much. And actually, the audio of me crying there is like, it's getting snotty now. Let's stop it.
So hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times.
When was the last time you cried?
Like yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Over what?
I got stressed out at the weekend with the baby, and I got stressed out and had a little cry after I put him to bed.
Oh, it happens.
Just a release. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know how. Like, I've got so much respect for parents since I became one. It's the hardest thing ever. It's amazing, and I'm blessed. Like, I'm truly blessed with like my life and stuff like that, and I know that I have a much easier life in certain areas compared to most people. But it's hard, and I have the most respect for everyone else that's doing it.
What does being a working mum look like?
It's hard. I feel guilty all the time, and it's stressful because he knows I feel guilty, and he wants to control that a bit. It's hard, you know. So it's difficult. It's really difficult. But, you know, I'm with his dad, so I've got his dad, and you know, I have help around the house and stuff like that. And they do. I mean, it's like I've got to get home and do all the housework as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'm lucky, and I find it hard. So God knows how hard it is for everyone else.
True. What I love about you so much is that honesty. Do you ever get in trouble with being so honest?
If I don't feel like I can hit the note, I can just hand the mic out to the crowd. And they can sing it.
eTalk first met Adele in 2008 for her album 19, and a trip down memory lane brings out that amazing Adele laugh.
Back to our first interview with you. You had just come back from the Brit Awards, and you jokingly made this observation, which I love.
You know, I thought it was hilarious. Kylie Minogue and Rihanna had the same shoes, and Kylie had to change her shoes. Kylie's a bigger star than Rihanna in the UK. I thought that was outrageous. So Rihanna got to keep the shoes on and Kylie didn't.
I love it. What I love about you so much is that honesty. Do you ever get in trouble with being so honest?
Yeah, well, I definitely said a few things.
I'd like to say I got cut off during my speech for Best Album, and I flung the middle finger. But that finger was to the Suits of the Brit Awards, not to my fans. I was about to thank the British public for all of their support, and they cut me off. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but the Suits offended me. So thank you very much for all of your support. It's amazing, so thank you very much. Send that everywhere so all the fans see it, because I don't want them thinking I was swearing at them, all right?
I don't think before I talk. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work.
I think we all love it.
That massive boat. Sorry,
look at that. Is that your ride? Is that your chariot taking you home?
Yeah, definitely. I'm worried about every night my nerves that bad. What if I don't sing good for people?
As you can see, the honesty in her music extends to our interview. Our candid chat concludes with what the future holds for Adele. Thanks so much for watching, and good night from London.
Britney Spears has offered a concert ticket swap. What do you think? Are you going to take her up on that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh my God, am I getting a private show? Oh my God, I love her.
Would you ever do a Vegas show, do you think, like Britney or Celine? Like
Definitely.
You take on a residency?
Absolutely. Yeah? Not for a long time. But yeah, like in like 10, 15 years or something.
Yeah.
If anyone wanted to come still. Absolutely, I can't think of a better like summer holiday period than like being based in LA and me going and hang out in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's a pretty nice
Also,
schedule.
I've heard that they can make your hotel suites look like your house. Wasn't that what Celine Dion
They can
did?
give you a whole floor.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Get like some greased up man to feed me.
Is there a plan for a tour?
I thought you were about to say there's a plan for a greased up man to feed
Oh,
you.
that?
Yeah, like my boyfriend. A tour. We're still talking about it. We're running out of time to book a tour.
Yeah?
Because it has to be next year. So it's like a veiled. It's very complicated. I didn't realise how complicated it was to book a tour. And also I'm quite hands on with everything, so I'm just trying to get my head around it.
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous about letting anyone down in terms of. My voice should be fine, like, to do a tour, and because I've had vocal issues in the past and had to cancel shows because of my vocals, I'm still getting over letting people down like that because it was such an underplay before, and I feel like I only have, like, a small window to do a tour.
Yeah.
Because my kids start school. And I don't want to, it's kind of a bit of an underplay for the space of time that I have. And people be flying in and booking hotels and anniversaries and birthdays. And I don't want to let anyone down by not being able to complete those shows. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive myself.
I love how you're thinking of everybody else. It's amazing.
Well,
Yeah.
And also, I was just like, my nerves are like mad. I was just talking to my glam team, the ones that do my hair and makeup and all that. But I haven't nailed Hello yet, like, live. And I can't control, like, my nerves. I still can't. Like, so the idea of not in a show, it's a bit different, because if I don't feel like I can hit the note, I can just hand the mic out to the crowd. And they can sing it. But, I'm worried about every night my nerves that bad. What if I don't sing good for people?
I think you will. Adele, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. What a treat this was. Thank you.
Thanks.
So lovely. And I love these.
Oh, thank you.
Wowza.
Thank you very much.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Thank you. They keep getting caught in my hair.
Yeah, they're beautiful.